Why is there
Virgil
V?
Doyle, you ass.
Mira.
Is there V?
Instant crispy cookies.
Cool.
Yeah.
And with that being said, welcome back to Lightly Salted.
Hi.
That's right. Hey, clipping the thing, yeah.
Oye, mijo.
Oye, buenas tardes, mijo.
Buenas noches.
Buenas tardes, mijo. ¿Te gustan pistaches? Right. Anyways, so this is our. Can we? Okay, I like how I went from that to that. Anyways, it's our Halloween episode.
Hey.
Cue in the lightning. I'm editing.
Ka-chow.
You don't have to. I'm editing.
Ka-chow.
Ka-chow.
Well,
Oh, it took me a while.
I asked for it.
You're gonna get it.
So, since it's our fucking special, I'm eating cookies.
Fucking special.
Jupiter Thunder Smash.
Oh my god. God damn it.
Shit,
This is our intro. Alrighty. Spooky stuffs. What do you guys want to talk about? Ghost stories, spooky stuff, events?
Anything?
You want to introduce ourselves?
Okay, by all means.
Look,
Well, it's basically, it's been a long time.
Oh.
You know, we're back from the grave.
Hello.
That's right. I'm making that joke. Anyways. It's your ghostly host with the most.
That's right.
And, you know, Marcos.
Marcus.
And
Oh my god. Margos.
What is this, PBS?
yes. You know what I'm trying to do.
A-R-C-O.
Shut up. Yeah, with my lovely co-host
I-S-G-A-Y.
Miguel,
Hey.
Charlie.
How you doing?
I got Charlie's not gonna say anything.
I'm
Thank you,
Miguel.
Charlie.
Charlie,
Make it an
so-
offer
so-
for me. Thank you.
Charlie is here, so.
Ben's back,
Ben's back.
Hey.
and then our friend Marisol's back too.
Thank you for coming.
Omega, hello.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Omega.
Yeah. Here, cue in the sound. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, what do you guys want to think about this?
It's your
spooky?
fucking show, dude.
I know it is my.
I
It's
think-
our
but
show.
But you have
It's
the
our
show. You have the stories. You have the
Wait,
stories.
don't he does?
You have the
You have stories too.
Well, let's start
I
off
want
with
to
what
story
we
about the
experienced.
ghosts.
Yeah.
The ghosts in your house.
So,
Oh.
like, you
That
know,
was
we're
my
people.
fault.
We breathe. You know, and
I
we all.
photosynthesized.
Yeah, he photosynthesized, and we talked about our experiences with the paranormal. And since it's that time of the month, you know, about spooky stuff. Yes, I meant that. I went there. Anyways,
Oh.
yeah. Yes, I went there.
Ah.
We get to talk about paranormal stuff because we all experience it. And I guess we can go from right to left on stories because you good. You good?
Miguel thinks it's funny.
You're cerebral and whatever it's called.
Sounds like an autistic boy trying to scare someone.
Oh my god. And with that bell swoop, there goes
It sounds
everything.
like Ray
God damn it.
Romano.
It does.
Nothing scarier than Ray Romano, honestly.
Yeah.
Imagine him like breaking into your house.
Robert.
It's me.
Okay, that's Kermit.
It's
You,
Kermit.
yeah. So you're waking up out of your sheets and you just like look under the bed. It's like,
Hey, Ray Romano.
Romano, yeah.
I'm so nasally.
Ugh, my nose. I just.
You think with big old nostrils that I have, like I can breathe better, but I don't. It's really hard to breathe.
You guys saw that clip from Eminem and just insulting.
yeah. Is that from a movie?
No? Yeah, it's from a movie.
Yeah, it's from a movie.
You want
Funny-
something?
from-
Robbie suck.
Yeah, it's from Funny People.
Oh, I never seen that movie.
Yeah, Ray Romano's so defensive and scared. I love it.
What do I do?
I have a random thumbnail saved on my phone. It's Ray Romano remembers 9/11. It's just him like.
God fucking damn it.
I'll have to show it to you later.
Oh yeah, well they can't see it. I'm gonna have to just slap it on there.
Put it on the.
So,
I could honestly, but anyways.
so spooky stuff that we all experienced.
Yeah, so let's go with Ben first.
All right.
Yay.
Yay!
Yay.
He's the first in the alphabet, so go for it.
Whoa.
I think, right?
So this one time.
Oh, you are.
I think I might have. I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but I haven't.
I'm pretty sure the audience haven't.
No, I think I don't know. It's a story about the one time I was sleeping, and there was.
You can't tell that one again! No! Stop it! I knew what you were gonna say. You can't tell us Santa one. We already got it last time. You can't fool us twice.
That's true. That's true.
You almost went.
Almost
I know, I
fucking
was-
passed out there.
I was about to be like, wait a minute.
We all were
Jingle bells.
Yeah.
No, I wanted to dress up for the Halloween show. I was like, I would show up as like the Easter Bunny or Santa Claus. I'm like, oh god damn. Fuck.
Alrighty. Okay, we're delaying this here. We already in here for like.
Ben doesn't know.
We went on an alien chase once.
Oh, we're gonna
and
do
it
that
was
one?
really scary. It was scary.
I know.
That's it.
Okay.
There's more to it.
Aliens are scary, dude.
I mean,
You don't think so?
They're aliens. I mean, yeah, they
What
could
do they
probably
do?
kidnap us, but
People can kidnap us too.
Miguel's like, I don't
bro,
want people
it's
shoving
like
stuff on my ass.
they kidnap us and then they have sex with us. So it's like, is it really a lost
Do
right
you want to
there?
have sex with them?
It's like human
I kinda
trafficking,
do.
honestly.
I kind of do.
with an ugly guy.
With an ugly guy? Why not?
It's like human
Give me
trafficking.
5 reasons why
Oh
not.
my
That,
god,
that never stopped my mom.
bro.
I feel like-
Look
I
at
feel
the
like-
look at who's here.
I feel like we're the outlawed species to have sex with
We're
from
probably
the alien society.
Aliens coming here to fuck us is probably like them like those
go to
Guatemalan
Vegas.
people. Like let's go fuck a pig or whatever.
We're just the dummy thick
we're,
ones in
we're,
this
like,
case.
we're space donkeys with thick asses.
I don't know. The forbidden
What
fruit.
the fuck are you talking about?
Forbidden fruits.
Alrighty. Oh god damn it. Alright.
Yeah, aliens, dude, they can't resist us.
That's why we have so much movies.
Other than dissecting us and probing us, they want to fuck us.
Do they?
They
I'm
just
pretty
wanna
sure
be
that's what-
inside.
Are you sure they're not just modifying us just so we can get thicker and shit?
They're probably.
Hey, think about that
So we're
shit.
Like someone
basically-
gets abducted by aliens and they come back, they're just like,
Yeah.
boom, it's like thick.
Are we basically cows then?
Are we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they just want us to get.
That's why they mix us up with regular cows.
Yeah, they're like we're cows but stupider.
I wouldn't be surprised if they came back with like an elitist form of humanity and just like wiped
I wouldn't be
us out.
surprised if they came.
What the fuck? Continue with your alien story, please.
The aliens took me.
The end.
And this is.
I'm still there.
And now.
We watched Brother Bear 2 on VHS. But it doesn't make sense because that movie came out after VHS wasn't a thing anymore.
You guys ever see that kidnapping on a family where the family's fighting off aliens?
That was a
No.
VHS 2, dude.
That was a VHS.
That was science,
that was,
dude.
That was no. It was a.
That was yours.
That was a
ET.
camera. The camera left recording,
Uh-huh.
and this family's like fighting these aliens off.
And the aliens are like, dude, my
The aliens are like 2 fucking feet tall.
Bro, those are the illegal aliens.
Yeah.
You talking about the wrong.
Wait a minute!
Wait a minute.
Illegal There are aliens among us as we speak. One in particular.
Shut up, dude. Get back to the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting really detracted.
Yeah, they get kidnapped and.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Duh.
Do you
That
think
family,
the
that
aliens,
family was never seen.
Do you think aliens, they take kids to...
They've tried.
Do they...
Yeah,
Ben.
Ben, shut
Come
up.
on.
Ben, shut up.
Bro, I just got it.
You
Oh my
fucking
God.
got it? You kidding me?
What if like the aliens would pick you up? You're flying and you keep stopping at different houses and like you're leaving.
Stop! Stop it! This is not Santa. Stop! Leave the fat man alone.
Just leaving stuff at all these different
Save that
houses
for Christmas.
We're almost there, actually.
for Christmas and we're talking about Kwanzaa.
Anyways, spooky stuff.
Yeah.
Charlie,
Charlie,
you have a
please.
spooky story?
Any spooky stuff?
I don't think so. I'm sorry.
Really?
What's the scariest thing
Really?
you've ever? What are you the most scared of?
Oh, you really want that out there?
What am I?
Oh shit, you're right.
I used to be afraid of clouds a lot. Like
Clouds?
Clowns.
Oh, clowns.
Clowns.
Every new day's a nightmare. Don't look at
Oh my god.
Why does it look like a cat?
Someone starts smoking.
Make sure is my nightmare.
Oh, mama's dude, a life would be so sad.
every day, dog.
What are they called? Oh my god, it's an Olympus.
Oh my god, cumulonimbus. Anyways, so why clowns?
Huh?
White clowns.
Oh,
Yeah, I never got that. Like white clowns.
I don't know. It's mama showed me it like when I was like.
Oh,
really
It's
yeah.
always that movie.
So
Yeah.
it was a what a douche of a woman, dog.
What a
Straight up.
douche.
Yeah, dude, the fuck? Like I don't understand. I don't understand adults taking their
Oh,
kids or
yeah,
like
to see
deciding
scary
to watch
movies.
scary movies. It's like, really?
You know
You're
what?
gonna scar them for life, like, and you don't even like.
Yeah. I know.
Dude, fuck off.
I feel you, because like,
You know which one was mine?
that was me in a
The
nutshell.
Exorcist.
The Exorcist?
The Exorcist was
Dude.
the first one I
Same.
watched.
I watched it when I was like 5.
I was 7 when I watched
Wow, my mom was a dick.
it. That was my whole family. They're like, let's watch The Exorcist. I'm like,
My mom wanted to stop
Fuck.
watching and she was too lazy to like.
Turn it off.
Yeah, she was like, you know what, Miko, just watch with me, and then I was like, oh god.
No, you know, like,
She's like, this is what's gonna happen if you misbehave. You're gonna
I
get
still did
possessed.
it anyways.
Mom took me to the theater to the 4th Street when it used to be a theater and
When it
shit.
used to
It has a theater still.
Does it?
I think
when
so.
it didn't smell like piss.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not worth it.
Well, yeah, she took me there to watch the Chainsaw Massacre.
Why the fuck would you watch
Dude,
that?
I was like, I'm never going to Texas ever. Like, I'm like, I never want to go. Like this shit was funny.
Yeah.
That's scary.
And then we had to go to Arizona like 3 months later.
When we get to
I
Disney,
just cried all the time. Like,
Mom!
Yeah, I don't get why people take like when it was funny when we went to go see Toy Story 4, my brother and I, when it came out.
how's that scary, bitch?
No, hold on.
Yeah, I was like, what the
Let
fuck?
me
Where is
finish,
this
let me
going?
finish.
Where is this going?
Santa wasn't it okay? There's not a Toy Story Christmas thing, is there?
No.
No.
Oh my god.
That's why
oh
we-
my god. That'd be perfect.
Go back to the
Sorry.
fucking story.
Sorry, but like we were in the same day, Chucky. Oh my god.
Child's Play.
Beaner moment. Sorry, not Chucky. Child's Play, the new one came out.
Uh-huh.
And there was more families there with their little ass kids there to see the new Child's Play movie than there was to see Toy Story.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's because of Mark Hamill, dude.
This is gonna sound racist, and it is.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to bleep all this out.
Like, look, okay, we're all.
Speak for yourself. What the fuck? Bro, you're like I learned almost all my shit because of you.
That is true.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, fine. I can fine. I was like, I guess I.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you.
Bro,
Yeah, right there with
bro, you sag. You ghetto.
You're the only one that does that. I just
You
realized that.
ghetto.
I have stuff in my pockets. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Air.
It's not money though. Wait. Ghetto people love showing kids scary movies.
Yeah.
They love to do that. I don't know why.
Guilty as charged.
Like, see, my parents never showed us. We weren't allowed to watch like horror movies, but we would always watch stuff that would like. I think I might have shared this story on here before.
Okay.
Well, we went to go see a lot of midnight premieres when a whole family would go,
Yeah.
and so we went to see The Matrix 2.
That's a. Okay.
Yeah, and I was probably
I
like,
know it's scary.
well, okay, I was like 6.
Okay.
I was young. I fell asleep during, and I woke
That
up.
makes so much sense.
Mhm, yeah, I woke up and it was the really weird sex scene.
I knew it.
Yeah,
I
where
knew
she's like,
it.
where she's like putting her fingers in his holes, and they're having that weird rave. And I just woke up and I was like, and then I just went
Yeah.
back to sleep, and I was just like, yeah. And I
It's
was
so
like,
weird because
what
they're
in
having
the
like a
world is
religious
happening?
like experience or like having like a weird sermon. And I was like, let's rave, and they start
Yeah.
raving.
And
You're
then
like-
she's like just fingering his holes.
Yeah.
It was just so disturbing, dude.
I was
But I was
like-
like, I couldn't stop watching.
All right. So white clowns again.
It's Mom's fault.
I'm gonna let you
Okay.
finish.
No.
All right, Miguel, you got one?
I got some.
You got some?
I got some.
You got
Oh,
some.
got some.
I don't know.
Some.
For the most part, once I started realizing what the fuck I was seeing, I was like, okay, that makes sense. But when I was a kid, I would have a vivid imagination that I would see what I was imagining. So
Yeah.
I saw like I saw a demonized SpongeBob.
Okay.
I saw a vampire. I saw
dated a vampire.
I dated a vampire.
My
I
ex was a
saw-
vampire.
I saw
That's a
weird ass
kid's
creatures.
movie.
I see weird ass creatures popping in from my door. The one that really got me though was one night. I think I told this story before, but I woke up, but I wasn't up. You know, I was still laying it down. No. I was laying down with my eyes closed, but I knew I was up.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, why do I feel like something's watching me? So I got up, straight up, and then at the end of my bed, there's a little kid, just smiling and looking at me intensely, just like big ass, big ass Joker smile, or he's just looking at me with like an '80s bowl cut, some. Dude, I can still picture him. It's
Damn.
fucking weird. He's still in my head.
Yeah, you got fucking style.
He's
dude.
got overalls.
Dude, that sounds like your brother.
He's got He's got overalls on,
Your brother always wears.
striped shirt, and just the blonde hair. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I scream, and they turn the light on, and he's gone. I'm like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
And they test me like, what did you see? I was like, and I explained the whole thing that I saw. I was like, our neighbor just saw that kid last week or a few days ago.
Oh boy.
Like, ooh, what's going on here? Another story is that that place. What I came to find out about that place is that it wasn't just haunted. It was a whole poltergeist kind of thing.
Jesus.
Because once I moved out of there, my family started digging around, and they found a whole bunch of satanic and witchcraft writing and just things to do with witchcraft stuff.
That's that made you today?
Huh?
Which made you today?
Which made me what I am today.
Bro, preach.
But
I think most of us are like that.
yeah, but they brought someone in. They cleaned everything up. They cleansed the house, and I don't know. What was I going with this?
There's scary things in here.
Yeah.
Scary shit. Is,
Scary
Oh yeah.
stories,
So
dog.
before all that,
Tell them this dark.
so it was haunted. And it was
Yeah.
and
It's beautiful.
the whole thing was
Fuck.
what
the
about
whole
the air
thing-
conditioning, man?
the whole thing was a whole poltergeist. So there was a night where I woke up, but I woke up outside,
So,
and I walked back in, and my parents like, "Where did you go?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like, "We have been looking for you for an hour." I'm like, "I was outside." It's like, "What were you doing outside?" I'm like, "I'm sleeping. I don't know. I woke up on the grass." He's like, "How?" I'm like, "I don't fucking know."
I have legs.
It's like they're like, "It's 1:00 in the morning. What the fuck are you doing outside?" Like, I don't know how to. I can't give you a straight answer.
you're like,
I'm like, I saw some gnomes. I don't know. I thought they wanted to hang out.
Oh God.
Did you ever see gnomes?
I saw gnomes.
I've seen
What?
gnomes.
I saw
You've
gnomes.
seen
Yeah,
gnomes.
we've seen gnomes.
I saw gnomes.
Shut up.
I see one
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. I don't see them here. What the fuck?
Let's get right into the news.
Hey.
Oh my God.
I got that one. What is that?
Nothing.
So
Anyways,
there was I don't know. I
what else
guess,
happened?
another thing was that.
Oh shit.
Another thing was that.
Oh, Marcos, come on.
Why are you scared?
Damn.
I know.
You're scared of the dark.
But I'm surrounded with people and light.
I'm scared of the dark too. Oh, I was scared of the dark.
Yeah.
Now I'm just-
You're like, I know the monsters will get them first.
Pretty much.
Bad
tastes delicious.
I know what to do when monster comes.
another,
I dare you come here.
Oh my God.
another personal story that I had in that house was that my brother was barely born. He was about a few months old.
You
Yeah.
had your chance.
What?
You had your chance when it was weak. Now he's too powerful.
He's tall.
Oh my god.
My mom woke up in the middle of the night and saw my little brother crawl out or walk out or whatever the fuck babies do out of the door.
Damn, what do
And she was chasing after him, but this dude was for some reason outrunning her, like around like into the into the living room, into the kitchen, back around to the living room, and like 3 times. And he finally came back into the room,
Yeah.
and she wakes me up, say, "Hey, is your brother here?" I'm like, "Yeah." It's like, did he just crawl into bed? I'm like, "No, he's been here the whole night. Like, he hasn't moved." It's like,
Oh.
I just saw a baby or an infant just walk around. I thought it was your brother. He's just walking around the house, and I was trying to get back to him. I'm like, he's been here that whole time.
That's fucking creepy as fuck.
What the hell?
Dude, that house, some shit's going on with it, because it's not
Damn.
only just that baby or that child.
It's everything.
It's another thing that happened to my cousin's daughter,
Yeah.
my niece.
Yeah.
Yeah, my niece. She was in the other room that got haunted too.
Yeah.
She stayed into that room, and she was screaming, but everybody was outside, so they couldn't really hear her. She
Yeah.
was screaming and crying, and we finally went in, and they asked her like, "What's wrong? Why are you screaming?" Like,
Why you crying?
they're like, those two men won't let me out. They're like,
Why
what
are you
are you
running?
talking about? Like, there's two
Poor
men.
Ernie.
There's two men.
Boy, turn the fucking lights.
There's two men.
No,
at
stop
the-
it.
There's
No,
two.
come on.
Why are you scared?
Spooky shit.
There's two.
Shit.
There's two
It's
men.
movie time.
There's,
No, Miss, come on.
No! Come on, let him finish his story.
Okay, fine. Oh shit, that was creepy. Another man.
Bro, I'll kill you. I'm gonna jump over the desk.
Light fight.
there's two men at the end of the door, standing by it. They won't let me out. Like, what do they look like? I couldn't see their faces. They're all in black, like just black silhouettes or what? Like, no, they're wearing trench coats. They're wearing a hat, but it's all black. I can't see anything about them. They're just dressed in all black. And we're like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah, that was you and your brother coming back from the future.
Yeah, we're like,
No.
we're trying to warn you.
Oh my god.
So another one was my aunt. It was the
Yeah.
middle of the day. So there's a lady apparently that walks through that house, like in the little hallway that we have, not that big. It's really like 10 feet, and then that's it. She'll walk by that dressed. This sounds really fucking cheesy. Dressed in a fucking wedding dress or a white gown.
Yeah.
But she just walks by, and my aunt saw her walk by, and she talks to her. She's like, "Hey, hope you're doing good. You know, we're okay too."
Yeah.
And
Did
one
they
time
speak Spanish?
one time she did that, and it came back,
Yeah.
and it looked at her, and she's like, "You okay?" Just looked at her with the dead stare. You know those dead eyes.
Oh, those
And-
ones?
Yeah.
Those
Those ones.
Those dead eyes.
And then she just disappeared. There's a guy singing next door, so that's what that is.
That's scary.
I thought it was a Smurf song.
After that, the house got pretty cleansed, and I've always had this feeling the vibe around everywhere I go. So if it feels off, most of the time I just play it off as it's in my head because I just
Don't want to think about it.
I don't want to think about
Yeah.
it. I don't want to let that in. I don't want it to get to my head because that's just the control I want to have.
Yeah.
So after that, I moved out. It got cleansed. We moved back to where I'm at right now, and they did a bit more digging where I'm at right now, which is the front of the apartments, and they found a lot more witchcraft stuff.
Jesus.
How's
So,
that?
like rolled up photographs,
Sponsored by BlackCraft. By the way.
undeveloped photographs that were just like, oh shit, what's
Oh
this?
shit.
Years
Broken
later,
windows.
broken windows, you know,
Modelo.
the scon-
Takis.
They read the text and it's just like, this means I'm going crazy.
They do a seance. They get the Ouija board. Is anyone here? It says it says the higher the socks, the downer the food. All right.
After that, my cousin moved in. Sorry, I burped.
No worries.
My cousin moved in,
You evil
and
toad.
she still saw some things, but at the same time, I was telling him like, that's just your bad energy. You know, you have such a fucking awful vibe that coming in.
God,
That's coming into this house like I don't
Might
want
as well
to
just
stay
call
here.
her.
She is.
Oh my god.
Oh fuck.
And then years later, they moved out, and my neighbors moved into that, and it was fine. It was fine. I would go in there, look around, remembering everything that I saw, remember everything that I experienced. I'm like, I don't like this. I'm gonna leave. And then years later, my neighbor died in that house.
So mother dog.
He died.
Damn.
He died in his sleep. Rest in peace, him.
Yeah.
He's a cool guy.
Way to go.
He was a cool guy.
He was a cool guy.
What the fuck, dude?
And then after that, well, I think before that actually, where I didn't really move too far from where I was. There was that place, and then then across the alley there was apartments that I moved into, and one day I come home and there's a bunch of ambulances and a lot of cops
Yeah.
surrounding the parking spots that are around there. I'm like, what happened? My dad's like, you remember so and so? I'm like, yeah. Like, yeah, he just killed himself. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, yeah, he just hung himself in his garage. I'm like, whoa,
What the hell?
whoa, dude.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh,
Why?
shit.
Life be like that,
I
dog.
don't know, man. It was weird because it wasn't that far off the ground. It's like,
You probably suffocated.
he probably tried to do it all.
Yeah.
Saw that he wasn't that far off the ground and was just like, no, I'm gonna do this. Yeah.
Wasn't a quitter, I guess.
Mm-mm. That's pretty much it for my part.
Damn.
And you?
All right, Marisol, you're up.
Oh fuck.
Tell us scary stories about Diana.
Scary stories.
Oh, actually, I do have one about Diana.
Oh, you want one of Diana or do you want one of yourselves? You know, it's up to you.
Let's do Diana first. Since,
Okay.
I'll transition to my own personal, because that's the one like she doesn't remember it. even though she was the one who started it all.
Yeah.
So which is so weird.
Wow, dude,
Yeah.
I'm interested.
Okay, so I'm not sure if you guys had this like back in the day in elementary school where around like 3rd grade or so you go to the San Juan Capistrano mission
Oh,
Yeah.
for a field trip.
Yeah.
So she was the last one in my sister's group to go to that field trip, and she came back with an interesting souvenir. Let's
Nice.
just say, yeah,
A ghost?
Yeah.
yeah. She brought in a ghost,
A hitchhiking ghost?
a ghost who died in the mission actually.
Shit.
Nice.
Yeah, but she introduced the ghost as her imaginary friend, and I was thinking, okay, cool, that's nice. And she'll tell me like these descriptions about her and everything like that. And then like one day, I you know, as little kids, we just like mess around with each other. She actually threatened me, saying like, if you keep doing that, I'm gonna have my friend like hurt you. And I'm like, the fuck?
Okay.
You guys
That
don't
was
fit
not a
in,
fart.
you
That
guys
was
don't
not
fit
a
in,
fart.
buddy.
Oh my gosh, you
No.
guys! Did you guys hear that? That wasn't me.
I mean, that was the ghost of the tuba player.
Sorry.
It's okay. And so yeah, so I never messed with her, and then
Never met with her.
no, I was gonna say I never messed with her after that. And so months later, I was asking her, "Hey, how's your friend? Like, how is she doing?" Like, "Oh, she's fine. She went back home." I'm like, "Back home? Yeah, back home." She didn't say more about it, so I didn't ask.
Yeah.
So Halloween came around, and we always loved watching the Travel Channel back in the day when we had it, and they always had like these like spooky like little episodes about like in some places in the state or outside of the states,
Yeah.
everything like that. And there was one episode about in California. It's like, okay, cool. And one of them was the whole San Juan. I was like, oh, this is gonna be interesting. And they were telling like the whole backstory about the mission and then all the ghost sightings and everything like that. And one of them caught my eye. So apparently there was these 2 little girls back in the day when I believe in one of the earthquakes that happened, they found those 2 little girls' bodies in the rubble. And apparently their ghosts roam around the mission and everything like that. And they were saying the names of the girls, and one of them just like stood out of me. I'm like, the hell, because they were also describing the same description as my sister's friend.
Wow.
So we asked her like, Diana, can I ask you again? What happened to your friend? Oh, she went back home. Like, you need to tell me specifically where. At the mission. I'm like, what? Like, yeah, she went back home at the mission. She's not gonna come back anymore. She just came to say hi. I'm like, what the
That's
fuck?
trippy.
What the I was like, what? No. So I asked her like, was she actually a ghost? Like, I don't know, but she's my imaginary friend. Like,
No, she's a fucking ghost.
Yeah. So it came to the conclusion like, oh my god, my little sister just brought back a ghost.
Yeah,
Damn.
people can do that. Yeah. They'll
Oh
be-
yeah,
Yeah,
dude, I do
yeah,
that all
it-
the time.
It happens.
Wait,
yeah.
what?
I'll get to my stories, but like, what? You got one more, right?
Yeah, I actually have a few more.
There it goes.
So,
Take us away, Elton John. I think it's. I don't know what it is actually.
He's off tune, that's for sure.
yeah, he's off
Stop being mean to him.
tune. Okay, so you know, as they say,
Opposite attract.
people
Oh.
with people are naturally born with like they could see
I was
something
naturally
else.
Yeah, it's called being like
I
being
think
a medium.
I think I was naturally
Yeah.
born too, dude.
Shut the fuck up. Get out of here.
So apparently, there's 2 ways to like look like if you know if there's like other beings and you actually can see it. One was like actually you're naturally born with it, or 2,
Where's Maybelline?
you went through like a very traumatized
State.
traumatized state in your life, and because of that, your third eye opens. So something like that happened to me because I wasn't born with it, but it kind of came to it when I went through the whole traumatized thing when my dad passed away, and it was really traumatizing to me because he was my best friend. He gave me the adventure spirit and everything like that. So yeah, it was really traumatizing to me, and
Take a sip of that coffee real quick.
yeah, because dry
Getting
through here.
spooked out over here.
Yeah, Ben's really spooked
Marcos
out.
doesn't want to turn on the light.
No, because it's the fucking season.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta keep
The
it.
fucking season.
We gotta keep it themed, you know.
That fucking season, dog. Let me just spray them cheeks.
We're gonna play the Ouija board after this.
You want to? We could.
let's do
But
it.
Beth will leave.
No, we're not doing that in here.
The what?
We're not doing the fucking Ouija board.
We're
Oh,
gonna do
hell
Char-
no.
we're gonna do Charlie,
Hell
Charlie.
no. If
No,
you
we're
guys
not
gonna do
doing-
that,
Charlie's
I'm
right
leaving
here.
too.
I'm
I'm
gone.
leaving too.
We're not doing any of that in here.
We're doing once Ben
Ben,
leaves.
take me home
No,
when that happens.
we're not doing
We're
any
doing
of
it.
that
We're
here.
doing it.
But no,
Why are you scared?
because bad shit happens with that stuff.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
true.
I mean, if you believe in it.
So it's weird, cause like for a long time,
Well,
I.
hold on, let Marisol finish her
Hey,
story.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a bit. Finish your story. Finish
So-
your abilities to be.
Thank you, Ben.
Come on, stop being a bitch and turn the light
Oh,
on.
we can keep going.
All right then, fine.
Damn it.
Oh shit. That guy's trying to hit
That
the
guy's
note.
singing.
He's trying, okay?
He's trying. I applaud to him. I applaud
He's
that.
fucking being a champ, bro.
So sometime after that, I've noticed these, and I still kind of see them to this day.
Uh-huh.
I see like shadow figures,
Okay.
Damn,
even in
preach.
the dark.
You know what? You know what I've heard about those?
And
Try not to look at them in the eyes. It's supposed to be a bad omen if you do.
Yeah, I know. That's why I always
There's
look down.
it's a lot of weird talks about shadow people. Like, there's like,
They're not people.
what are they?
Can we turn on the light, please?
I don't know.
Ben, please,
No.
please, 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 please.
Maris, come on, don't be mean.
Fine.
Thank you.
there's a season.
I'm gonna turn them off in a couple minutes.
You were saying?
Miguel, you just scared the shit out of me
Why?
because of that fact.
Huh?
That's kind of true. Fuck.
Well, it's
I know,
weird.
I'm
I'm
just
not
scared.
lying.
It's because people don't understand what they are. Like,
No.
there's,
No, no one does.
like I can just pull up Wikipedia right now. And I can tell you.
That's okay. You were saying?
Hey, you were saying though.
Yeah, I've noticed them. Stop. I've noticed them since I was very little, like
Yeah.
9 years old. Like I didn't know what they are or anything like that, and it just like what I knew is that something like weird about them, like what Miguel said, like don't look them in the eye, and I never did. I always like look down. I see the whole figure, but I would never look at them. But what's even more freaky is like whenever I sleep, this has like this scenario. Like I have not experienced in such a long time now, so thank God. Like I could feel one of them like hovering over my bed, like
Oh.
right there.
So like sleep paralysis in a sense.
No, dude.
That's some scary shit. Like,
Like
you
I
can
will,
feel that. You
yeah, I will wake up, like I just out of freaking nowhere,
Mhm.
and I could sense it. I could
Yeah.
sense
I
it
know what
right
you
there,
mean.
and I'm like, I know it's there. I'm
And
not
you
gonna
just
look.
don't-
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not gonna like. I'll just like open my eyes like a little bit, and it's like right there, but I'm not gonna like fully look at it. I'm like, nope. It's just right there. Just
Those
hovering.
I've had that. Those are the only times I've really had just a really mild panic attack because I knew nothing was there, but in my head I'm like, dude, I feel something there. I don't know what the fuck it is. I don't want to look at it, and then I would force myself to look at it. I'm like, fuck it, whatever's there is there. We're gonna battle this out.
Yeah, even when I use the restroom in the middle of the night, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna open the door, I'm gonna look down, and just like head straight to the room, turn off the light, I close my eyes, and I just bolted over there. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I could sense it like, right there.
Okay, so because of that sense, and I hate that sense, I've come to force myself to look at it.
Like
you know
I've tried, I've always tried like here and there. No,
I'm hearing the story.
Marcos, come on, move the hand.
Damn it.
what?
And because of that, like I don't like the dark that much anymore. I used to like it a lot back then, but not anymore. I just couldn't
Yeah.
because of all of that.
Yeah.
But then a family friend of ours cleansed our house and everything, so I don't see that much of them anymore. Thank God. But time to time, I'll still like see in the corner of my eye like a little peek of them, like peeking like that,
Yeah.
or just like fully standing there or anything like that. I'm like, nope.
Marcos.
What?
So what are you gonna say?
Nothing. I was just what? I don't even remember.
You have another story?
Actually, one more. Yeah.
What's the next one?
What was it? Oh yeah.
Marcos has a lot of stories.
Sometimes I could either like smell or feel or kind of sense it that like a close family relative who passed away is like near me.
Really?
I could sense that.
I've only had that once.
Like, which is even more funny because like me and my mom are the only two in our household that actually will actually like have that ability,
Yeah.
which is weird because she will have like vivid dreams about my dad, and I will like smell his cologne or like a specific beer that he drank like back in the day when he was alive. So yeah, which is like crazy.
My crazy event was on Christmas Day. My neighbor passed away, and I've known him since I was a child. The same night, the night after that, he passed away. I was laying in bed and I was falling asleep, and my bed just starts
shit.
shaking.
Oh yeah.
It starts shaking, like vibrating. It starts off mild, and then it just gets intense, and super intense to the point where I think my ears are gonna like blow, because that's what it felt pressurized and a lot of shaking, vibration. Like you could not feel that. You know what I mean? So I wake up, I get up, and I tell my brother who's sleeping on the bunk bed on top of me. He's like, "Did you feel that?" It's like, "Felt what?" I'm like, "You didn't feel that the whole fucking bed vibrating right now?" It's like, "No." I'm like, I go to my parents who sleep on the other side. I'm like, "Did you guys feel that?" It's like, "Felt what?" Like, the vibration that just happened. Like, well, I think it was an earthquake or some shit. I don't know. I just felt. If you ever felt plumbing vibrate real bad?
Yes.
So that's what it felt like. So I thought it was plumbing. I'm like, "Did you guys feel the plumbing right now?" It's like, "No, nothing." You guys didn't hear vibration? Like, "No, nothing. It's been quiet." I'm like, "What the fuck?" I felt that once, and I felt that once again, and I don't know what the hell it was. I told my neighbors, like, "Did you guys feel any plumbing and vibration last night?" It's like, "No, nothing. It was quiet." I'm like, "Okay," because I felt it. And they're like, "Oh, it might be, it might be him trying to send you a message."
Yeah.
What's the message?
Yeah, like whenever I discuss something like that to my second sister, she will criticize me. And but when my mom has like a similar situation like me, she's like, "Oh, interesting." And I'm like, "Okay, you're criticizing me, and you're not criticizing my mom." Okay, but at the same time, my mom will mention like, "I think your sister's just jealous that this is happening to the both of us, but she wanted something like that too."
I don't think she does.
No,
that
she doesn't.
shit's like.
Yeah.
No, like sensing our family relative.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, that's why. Like, I don't think she would want to.
It's a weird thing. It's weird, but.
Yeah, my mom will say like that. She will mention it like one time. She only mentioned that one time actually, and yeah, and I'm like that too. I'm like, I don't think she ever wants that because there's other stuff that she's not ready for that shit.
No, at least.
Like she say like I've seen shit. I'm like, ha 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 ha. I've seen more worse shit than you.
Dang, it's with the big wiener contest.
Well, I think Marcos is gonna take the cake on this.
Not
one.
even. But anyways.
Oh yeah.
So
Marcos has stories.
I have a bunch of stories, but
Oh,
like that's for the fact that like it's been around me forever because of just I guess circumstances and stuff. But I was gonna say I don't know what's a good spooky story. Let me see the book real quick.
I like your board story.
The what one?
Your board story.
Oh, that one.
Oh.
Speaking of Ouija boards.
Yeah.
And driving through that.
So I guess I have to explain it in two things. So. I used to know someone in high school, and I used to hang out with him for a bit.
Oh yeah.
And
Voldemort.
it was late at night. I'm gonna name him Julio. So Julio and I.
Boo.
I'm gonna name him Julio. You like Julio? You think it's a good name? No. Julio and I were hanging out at his house. And it was like late at night. It was like 3 a.m. And then like school starts at 7. So we're like, I gotta go home. Or so, like I think it was 3. Yeah, I gotta go home. So we get into his car and he's driving me home. And as we're driving home, everything's normal until this weird gray figure.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah,
this one,
comes from the sidewalk, runs into the middle of the street, and we hit it with the car. We hit it. Goes through us, and then we both turn around, and there was nothing there. So I'm kind of confused. I'm kind of confused.
It's Marcos' story. He had to.
Yeah, my story.
True, that's true.
It's my story. So I'm kind of confused, and I was like, we didn't say anything for like a good solid like minute. We didn't say anything, and I finally like looked at him like, hey man, like, you witnessed that, right? And he started going into a panic mode. And he drove off like all fast and stuff. We parked at a Carl's Jr. like across the street. And we were talking about it. We're like, hey man, what was that? I was like, I don't know. Like, I saw a gray figure. We hit it, and that was kind of the end of it. I don't know what happened. And like we were talking, discussing it, but it was already getting to like 4-ish, almost 5 in the morning. I'm like, hey man, like I gotta go home. And he was like, no, bro, you're walking. I'm like, no, you need to go home. And he's like, okay, fine. So we're going back to my area, and like I literally have to Chinese fire drill out of the car because the car didn't stop. The car was still going, so I like literally run out of the car, and then he sped off, and then my mom came out. And she's like, what happened? I was like, don't worry about it. And she was like, what happened? I was like, I had to explain it to her, and she's like, oh, were you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Julio wasn't fine. For a solid month, he was sleeping with like every candle he had in his house.
Yeah, he told me that.
Like he found like every saint candle he found, and like put it in his room and stuff. And he was just like, I didn't sleep at night. I was so scared. I started praying, all this stuff. And I was like, bro, chill. Like it wasn't that bad. Like I mean, it was scary, but it wasn't that bad. Like shit, dude, chill. It wasn't no demon or anything. Like chill. Anyways, so now going to your board story. Months later pass.
The story.
And then my buddy,
My favorite.
I had a buddy of ours. I'm gonna call him
Max.
I'm gonna call him O-Man.
Oh man.
Not because he's an old man.
You want to say
no,
over.
Oh man.
I'll just call his real name Omar. Omar. He was selling his stuff from his house. He was throwing stuff away because his family was doing shit. And a good friend of mine, he was like, oh, he has a Ouija board. I want it. And I was like, okay, let's go pick it up. So after school, we go to his house. We're walking over there, and we go and pick it up. So we're walking back to our houses because we lived all kind of the same area, basically. We're walking back, and my dipshit of a friend, he's like, oh yeah, I can't keep it tonight. And I was like, what do you mean? Yeah, I can't keep the board. And I'm like, well, why the fuck did we pick it up? And he's like, well, you know, I just can't take it home. I'm like, well, when can you take it home? He's like, well, tomorrow. And I was like, okay. So, and Julio was there, and Julio was like, I am not touching this thing. I'm not even going to be near these things, never again. Never. So I had to play the big wiener, and I was like, all right, I'll take it home. That's fine. I don't care. I'll take it home. Later that day, I went home. I put my stuff away. My mom saw it. My mom was like, is that what I think it is? I'm like, yeah, it is. And she's like, you know your record. Like, I know. It's gonna be for one day only. I don't think anything's gonna happen. I haven't even opened it. It's gonna be in the closet, and that's it. That's the end of it. And she's like, okay, when is it gonna be gone? Tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. So we have a long history of weird stuff happening. So, you know, we leave, we go shopping, we go buy groceries and stuff, right? And like towards the end, we go home, and everything is pitch black. The whole house is pitch black, which is weird because like I normally have a light on because I like to have a light on. So I look at her and I'm like, didn't we leave like a light on, like the kitchen light on or something? She's like, yeah, we did. I was like, yeah, like, must have been like a power outage or something because it's weird. So we're heading to the door, and my mom starts panicking. She's like, I don't want to open the door. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm scared. Like I feel something not right. Like I don't want to touch it. And I was like, okay, I'll go in. You know, whatever. I'll play the big wiener. I'll go in. So I go in the house, and everything seems normal. And I'm just looking around like, okay, where's like the light switch? I'm looking for it. And then I hear something fall in my room. I hear something fall. And at that point, I was like, oh no. Like I had to grab something, like a stick or something. There was in the room or something, a batter, like a ball, like something. I grabbed a batter thing or something. And I was like, all right, I gotta go see the room. And I go in, I open the door, and I see this white figure, shaped of a woman, right next to me on the door. She runs away, and goes into the closet. And, you know, I turn on the lights, and I open the closet, like, you know, like, what the fuck? You know, I opened it. Nothing was there. Just the Ouija board. So at that point, my head, I was like, okay, that needs to go. So I go outside, and my mom's like, what happened? I'm like, don't even worry about it. Don't even trip. Like, I got it. Like, what happened? No, don't worry about it. I got this. So I go to the park. I live next to a park. I used to live next to a park, and I just dumped it in a dumpster. I just threw away the Ouija board in a dumpster. Yep. And never got bothered by that ever again. And then the next day, I told my buddy, I was like, hey, dude, like, that happened to me. He started laughing at me. I was like, you're a dick. Julio was like, I told you not to mess with that stuff. I'm like, bro, shut up. Like, calm down. It's already over anyways. Like, not a big deal.
Yeah.
And then I finally saw Omar, and I was like, hey, bro, like, I need to talk to you, man. Like this happened to me. And he's like, oh, wow, that's crazy, man. Like, to think that thing did that to you and stuff. Like, man, we never even messed with it. Like, it's not even mine. And he's like, oh, and I was confused when he said that, because I was like, what do you mean it's not yours? Nani desu ka? Like, what do you mean it's not yours?
Nani desu ka?
And he was like, yeah, it's not ours. Like, what do you mean it's not ours? He's like, well, when my parents bought the house, the Ouija board was already there. Like, that board was already there at the house.
Nice.
And I was like, I was like, you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking trying to tell me that this thing has been there for, like, whoever long has it been there? Like, however long it's been? And, like, you randomly just gave it to us? He's like, yeah. Like, all right. Okay. And he's like, it's weird because, like, we would see someone, like, exit out of a room and walk into the halls and then go back into a room for, like, every day, like, every random day of a month. Like, it would happen. Like, once a month, it'll happen. And this month, it hasn't happened at all. And I was like, I guess you're welcome, because I think I got rid of it. Because, like, yeah, that happened. So, that's my Ouija board story. And that's, I'm not a true believer about it, but, there it is.
You're not a believer?
Not a believer, dog. No.
I can't imagine that person who went to that trash can, found it, and kept it.
You fucking swear.
I got one more though.
That poor soul.
I got one more. This one because like my mom told me the story because she witnessed this, and I told this a long while ago with a friend podcast, but I'll get to that later. But anyways, my mom used to live in San Jose, California, and in around like the 80s or so, there used to be a grocery store, like a small little market, and like in San Jose, they had these weird, funky buildings and stuff. Like it was like old looking houses kind of vibe, but it's a grocery store. But anyways, so this grocery store was like infamous for like weird shit happening. Like stuff would get knocked over, people would hear voices, people would get like poked at or something. Like they would feel really uncomfortable. And there was a rule, apparently my mom was telling me, there was a rule about that store. It's like if you were gonna work night shift, you can't close alone. Someone has to close with you. No one can work on their own. Because of these reasons, and at one point it got so severe. I don't know what she was saying. Like either people got fed up or something really bad happened. Like I think something got really like knocked over or something was. I think they were hearing too much voices to the point that they thought people were sneaking in. So they called the police at that point. At that point they called police. So the police showed up and they were very kind of like, investigating. Like, okay, maybe they could be entering here. Guys have windows, stuff like that, broken windows, all that jazz. And at one point, they noticed, they're going into the manager's office and one of them noticed that the floor was a little hollow. And he was like, does this house have a basement? And he's like, I don't know. Like, we never looked, we never thought about it. I don't think that anyone told us there was a basement. Because he was like, well, these properties tend to have one. And we just noticed your floor is kind of loose. So, they had to like tear a little bit of the floor and they actually found a door. They actually found like a little hatchet thing to like open to the basement.
Oh my god.
Shit.
Yeah, they found one. And at that point, they're like, whoever it is might be sneaking in through another entrance or something into this room. So we're going to have to go investigate. So they did. They broke down the floor even more and they went down into the basement. So what they saw was an empty room, painted black, red markings on the wall, a bull skull like on the top part of the wall, kind of like an altar, but not really an altar. Like it's just kind of like a homemade, a DIY one. They found a bull. And they found bones everywhere. And at that point, it became a serious case. Because at that point, they found out that the bones they discovered were human. They were from a child. And at that point, it became pretty serious. Yeah. And I was like, I was hearing the story. I was like, holy shit! Like, what happened to the store? My mom's like, oh yeah, they closed it down. Like immediately, when they heard about that story, like everyone quit. Like immediately, no one wanted to work there anymore. Like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to be there anymore.
Pretty solid.
Yeah, the manager was like, yeah, I don't care if I lose this job. Honestly, I'm good. Yeah, it's a heavy story. I was like, what the fuck? Like, and I was like, what happened? Like, what else did they discover? If they found like child remains in a bowl, like.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there were bones though. There were bones. Cause that's when the investigation got so serious. Cause they're like, these are human remains. And there was no other entrance, by the way. There was like no other entrance. Whoever used to own that property was doing shit like that before it became a grocery store. They were doing weird shit in that basement. And I asked my mom, like, what else happened? And she's like, I don't know. I mean, I kind of just stopped paying attention after that. I was like, what? Like, how do you forget a cool story like that? How do you not pay attention to it?
That's dope.
And she was like, I don't care.
I mean, that's sad for the children, but it's like,
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, besides animal stuff was mixed in it, like animals' bones were in it. It was also a child bone in there. So like they were like, okay, this is getting kind of serious. Ruh-roh. But yeah, those are my 3 spooky stories, and
I have one more
go for it.
relating to that child that I saw.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I told you guys that my neighbor saw him a few days ago.
Yeah.
So his story is that he was out and about around 3 a.m. getting broken windows. But
Yeah.
no, he was out and about at 3 a.m. and he saw this little kid. Same description.
Yeah. Bowl cut.
Overall striped shirt. And he saw a little kid. He was crying, and he's like, "What are you doing out here, in the middle of the fucking road? Like, what are you doing out here?" Like, I'm waiting for my parents.
Who sent you?
I'm waiting for my parents. I don't know where they are. You know, can you help me? Like, yeah. What's their phone number? He gives him the phone number. He's dialing. He's dialing it. As soon as he dials, it's like, this phone is no longer connected. You blah 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 blah. You know, basically saying that number doesn't exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Turns back and he's like, hey, this phone number does. And mid sentence, he notices that the child's gone. Like, it's not there anymore. He looks around like maybe he ran away. Like, nobody for miles.
Shit like that happens, man.
Shit happens, dog.
Jeez.
What happened?
Yeah. Some shit happens here and there still. And I just realized it's my coked out neighborhood. Dude, I would wake up at 3 a.m. and this random dude just fucking laughing as hard as he can. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So like.
Yeah, get that scante.
No man, there's a lot of creepy stuff out there, man. Like we just can't explain it. Like
it
know?
makes me really wonder what the fuck is out there.
I mean, with all these stories and all, and I'm like, you know, like
just never go out to the woods by yourself.
I've done that.
I went out with my older brother in Acapulco.
Yeah.
Dude, that shit was brutal. Like we were all just venturing out.
Yeah.
And it was really late, and it was the Dia de los Muertos.
Yeah.
Shit got too real. Like we were like, yeah, we were hearing shit, and my older brother was just being like, nah, don't even trip. Like I was like, alright, whatever. And then it was funny because he said, don't even trip. And next you know, you just see him running and shit, and I was just like, what's going on? And he's just running. I'm like, and that time right, he was like panicking. Little bitch. And then he's like, I saw something. I'm like, and you didn't tell me. Just leave me behind, bro.
Yeah, man.
She's like, nah, dude.
There's some scary stuff. There's some scary stuff out there, man, and like, it's weird. I had a friend of mine, a close friend of mine. His dad, like, because he was from Mexico and stuff. So at the time, he left and he went to America to.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
He went to I think Texas to like New Mexico or Texas to work on like bring money to them and stuff. He got a working visa and he came to the States and started working and stuff. And his story was that it was late at night. It was like 2-3 in the morning or so, really late, or it was sunset I think or something around there. I don't remember. Like I don't remember what time. But he was in his truck and he was driving home and stuff. And he noticed this weird figure flying past him.
Nice.
And he was like, that looks like a woman.
What's a witch?
And he started chasing after it.
I said, wait.
Yeah.
What the
He started
heck?
chasing after it. And he started chasing after it for like a good couple miles, getting closer and closer because he was really curious. He was like, what the fuck is it? Like it looks like a person. because it's not flying like a
Yeah.
bird,
Yeah.
and it's not a plane because it's not like fucking slow. Just,
Yeah.
you know, it's like going in a weird speed, and it's like looks like a person flying. And there's been notorious cases around that area that there's people they see flying people around that
Yeah.
area. So
Fuck.
Yeah.
yeah, so he was chasing after it for like hours, for like an hour or two, until he realized he was about to cross like the state line.
Wow.
And he was like, "Nah, dude, I'm not that curious." And he made a U-turn and drove back home. And I was just like, "What the? Why? Like, you already went that much effort." He's like, "Yeah, but you know what? I mean, like, I was like, nah, I got work in the morning. You know, I'm not that curious." But I was like, "That's crazy. That's creepy." He was like, "Yeah, I know. Like, it looked like a woman, like a legit woman, just flying in the air."
Yeah, that's creepy, man. I mean, what made me real skeptical is that most of the stories that I would hear, people see things and shit. Not insulting, you know.
No, you're insulting.
Not insulting people that can. It's just most of the time, I would read more. I would know more about him, and they
Yeah.
did some heavy shit, so like some heavy drugs. So I'm like, are you really seeing that, or is it just the drugs affecting you?
Yeah, whatever. Who knows? Maybe that's all it is. I mean, I've read books where like, you know, it's a chemical thing. Some people say like it's more like a spiritual thing. Some people say that what's it called? They say it's like it's just another plane of existence that we tend to forget that we can touch upon.
Yeah. So coming on that, I feel that me personally, it probably is another state that we can't really touch upon right now, but it's also it's an emotion.
Yeah,
You know,
maybe.
like you let fear conquer you, you are gonna get messed up. You are definitely gonna get hurt if you let fear conquer you. And that's what I feel most of it really is. Like, don't fucking be afraid of it. Like, yeah, it's spooky, yeah, it's terrifying, but
Yeah.
don't
Extreme
let it
extreme
get to
emotions can attract these kind of things. Honestly,
Yeah.
those stories.
That's true.
I'll tell one more before, like, because I don't know what time this spook train's gonna end here. But like, I'll tell you one more because like, so my family went like a long time ago. I was like probably like 5 or 6 years old. My family visited my grandma at the time, and you know, it was like a normal visit. You know, like they were just hanging out with her. It was really late at night. It was like 10 o'clock, and you know, they're packing. They're putting their stuff away in the car. Out of nowhere, my dad was like putting stuff in the trunk. This lady came out of nowhere with a big old knife, and like she tried to like stab him.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily, my dad like heard her steps, cause like he turned around, like, what the fuck, you know, and he jumped and he panicked and like he ran off, and the lady started chasing after him. Apparently, this lady was on drugs and stuff, and like she like
What the heck?
was walking around with a knife, and like
Wow.
happened to see my dad, so she was trying to
Jeez.
like stab him and stuff, right? You know, eventually like someone eventually the cops showed up.
Yeah.
They arrested her and stuff, and my dad and like my mom had explained like, I don't know this lady, like this lady just came out of nowhere, tried to stab me, you know, like I don't know. So it was already not a good start. That night was not a good start. And then they were driving. So at that area, it's like deserty, cause where she used to live and stuff was like all deserty and stuff, and the highway is a bunch of mountains. So they were going through the mountains, and my dad got lost. And since there's no lights in the mountain, it's pitch black. So my dad was driving around, and my dad was confused. My mom was like confused. They were trying to hear something on. They were just trying to hear. They were trying to like talk and stuff. And at one point, they were starting to hear someone singing. And my dad was like, well, my sister's name is Melissa. Is Melissa singing because she's a singer. And my mom turned around and she noticed that her and I were completely like asleep, like knocked out asleep. So my mom's like, no. And my dad's like, we don't have radio right now because we're in the mountains. Where's the singing coming from? Yeah, and my mom was like dead quiet. She was like,
Just the breathing.
yeah, she's like fucking terrified. And my dad's like, okay, no one's gonna answer me. Like, who's the fuck singing? Yeah, we don't know. They still don't know to this day. But my mom was just like, I was so fucking scared because we were lost in the mountains. Every road was like super hard to see because it was dark.
Yeah.
Because the mountains, there's no light, and then no one was awake to hear them both. So, yeah. So that's what I was like.
Scary.
Sometimes extreme cases cause extreme things to come.
Yeah, what if it was just somebody randomly singing in the middle of the fucking mountains?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's still
Like,
creepy.
what's scary? Like some weird ghostly being singing to you, or some random voice deep in the mountains, like making noises.
Yeah, for real.
I don't know, man.
That is.
Have you guys ever seen La Llorona, the movie, the recent one that came out?
Is it good?
No.
No.
The recent one?
It's cheesy.
It's cheesy.
A lot of jump scares.
Yeah, I mean, I figured because like all these movies now are nothing but jump scares. Was it good or?
It was alright.
A bit better.
There was, when I saw it, there was a girl in there like overly exaggerating on her panicking. Like she screamed.
Some
her
people
lungs
are
off.
some people are easily scared, dude.
But no, but it was
I'm
noticeable
easily jumpy.
that she was doing it on purpose.
Oh.
So I was like, oh, stop ruining it. Like, stop.
Okay, because like no, I mean I've met people like I mean like Ben was like kind of like that. Like he was really scared of a lot of things.
What a pussy.
Just wait.
I will quote Ben. I have no shame.
I have no shame about it. I'm
No,
a huge
dude.
fucking pussy.
Like most of Ivan's family are really scared of stuff. You're scared of stuff too.
My family used to be scared of stuff until I told them all that shit. Like, stop fucking letting it get to you. Stop being so paranoid about it. Don't be so superstitious about it.
My mom like is like scared of it, but she's really interested in it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
Yeah,
it's kind of weird.
Same.
And my dad has no fucks. My dad's just like I don't care. And
They
and
kill
'cause,
me,
like,
they kill me.
Yeah.
Hey.
Because he's the one that sees gnomes.
Yeah?
Yeah, my dad's the one that sees
I haven't
gnomes.
seen gnomes in a long
No
time.
gnomes.
So in Mexico they're called duendes,
Yeah.
and basically they're like these weird like spiritual beings that live in like woodsy areas, and they cause mischiefs and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, your dad had seen gnomes.
My dad sees gnomes. They bug him. I saw him with him once, and it was weird because we were sharing a room once, and we were sleeping. And
Does
it
he
was,
talk to them?
what?
Does he talk to them?
No,
No?
no. They don't talk.
Why
It's
do
weird.
you mean they bug him?
Because they would like harass him. Like
Oh.
they would poke at him. They'll like remove his sheets. They would like do all this stuff when he was asleep. they bug him. And I saw it once, so that's why I get my dad because I saw it once, and like because I remember hearing noises, and I would see something like move up his bed, and then my dad saw it, and he grabbed a pillow and he grabbed it, and my dad was like, "Turn on the lights!" And I was like, I turned on the lights, and he moved the pillow. It was gone.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Fuck!
Yeah. And he's like, "You saw that, right?" I was like, I did see it. I saw it move. Like, holy shit. And he was like, "Yeah."
So,
They're like-
okay, so it disappeared, right?
Yeah, it disappeared.
What if it's not gnomes? What if it's fucking Dobby?
Oh my god.
Well, maybe
Dude,
went,
it was Dobby. He patched his pipe.
yeah. You didn't give me clothes.
Stop.
I returned to Bastos.
Yeah,
Would
dude.
you fuck Dobby?
No.
Why'd you gotta go there?
Dude, Dobby's coming at you in your bed at
Like,
night.
like,
Dobby.
you fucking know?
Like, Dobby, you're about to catch another knife right now.
You're about to catch these hands.
Come at me like
Hold
that,
on,
man.
hold on.
I live in the hood.
I live in the.
Anything coming at me at night, I'm through for night first, later, ask questions.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but like honestly, I don't know, man. Like there's a lot of really
That's-
creepy shit happening.
That's so sick.
What?
though.
There's a
No.
lot of weird, creepy shit that's unexplainable because we don't know about it, but there's gonna be a point where we will.
Do they
know
still
about
fuck
it.
with him?
Yeah. Yes,
But why? Like, why? Like, what?
He doesn't
Because
know.
that's what they are.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know.
Just to their nature.
Family.
I know, but, like-
we have.
I mean,
I have family history of stuff like this.
No
what?
lie. If I could do that, I'd probably fuck with people too.
You fucking bullshit.
I have family history from that, from both sides. So that's why, like, I the more I figured out my like family stuff,
Yeah.
the more I realized, man, they've done weird shit. That I'm like, God damn it.
I
And,
really
and
want.
that shit's inherited.
I really want to hear Kevin's.
No wonder your
stories.
shit like you get shitty stories. You get stories like that. Like
Yeah.
you get-
Mothman.
It's
Oh,
that's
man.
like what Marisol's saying too. Like that stuff's inherited. Like you sometimes you inherit it.
Yeah.
You inherit these situations. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like even the other Marisol Alpha. Yeah, she has shit too. Yeah. She denies it. She kind of wants to ignore it, but like she does.
'Cause
Whoa,
it's-
whoa, what
it's
does
a-
she want to ignore?
It's a spiritual door with
Yeah.
coming into that.
no, no,
It's
no,
a
no, 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 I want to know.
What? That's what. No, he's answering it though.
Yeah.
Oh.
Stupid.
Damn.
It's a spiritual door. If you pay attention to it, you're in it a lot. You're opening yourself up to that world,
Yeah.
and everything's coming at you. Good,
Yeah.
bad,
Yeah.
weird.
So
Yeah.
it's
Everything.
a new perspective of shit that's going on with you, and honestly, some people aren't ready for it,
Yeah.
or some people don't want to,
Yeah.
or some people are like
It's confusing shit.
Yeah.
No, but what's coming after her though?
Hey,
Fuck.
did you-
No,
No.
she just
Yeah, she doesn't want to admit it, man.
she doesn't want to like
Talk about it.
not talk about it, but I know what she told me before. She doesn't want to put too much interest in it because she doesn't want to like open doors.
Be bothered by it.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to break those
Yeah,
windows.
and it's weird because like my dad said the opposite. My dad's just like, it's just something you have and you have to accept it sometimes,
Yeah.
and like don't let it bug you so much because in reality they can't hurt you.
Yeah.
We don't know that though.
Well, I mean that's what he said, and that's coming from his experience. And he's like, and they can't hurt you, and like, there's not much of it because like a lot of I don't know. That's what he says. I'm just quoting him.
Yeah.
He's like they can't really hurt you, and honestly, like, you should pay as much attention as any other thing
Oh,
in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now go for it.
Oh, Ben has an actual call
a real phone.
on the
Private.
hotline.
Thought line.
The thought line.
Thought line.
Hello?
Oh, he's going. He's leaving.
Get out of here. Just get out.
No, but yeah, I have another story too. Actually, two of them.
Go for it. We'll run it for like another 5 minutes and we'll call it.
Okay. So whenever I go to LA, I always like to stay at a specific hotel for
Oh,
like
yeah,
anime
yeah,
show
sure.
or anything like
Yeah,
that.
sure.
And my first visit, like I don't know, I saw them in my dreams. Like this like couple was wearing like this like 40s and 50s kind of attire, which is so weird. And they were just like rooming in with me with my hotel room.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell's going on? I
Yeah.
don't understand. And I'm like not bothering them. Like I'm doing my own thing. I'm just living my life, and just they just keep bothering me right there. And then like I sometimes see them like hovering next to my bed. Like, why does everybody like to hover my bed? I wonder why.
Why?
Why?
Leave me alone.
Yeah.
So there's that story. But another story is that sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I when I dream, it feels more like I'm like looking at visions of like an alternate universe.
But you have that
something
too.
I
like
have those too.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the hell? And sometimes when my deja vu's happen, like, okay, so I dreamt up this alternate route, but here is the other alternate route that just happened right now. Okay,
No,
what is going on?
I don't know.
So whenever I tell that to my mom, she's like, you just inherited, girl. I don't know.
You got it.
And whenever I tell
You got it, girl. Don't
whenever I
even
try
trip.
to tell my sisters about it, they sometimes criticize me. So I'm like, I never tell them anything about that. I'm like, no, I'm gonna shut up.
You're just like.
My thing was that like those visions, like for me, it's a lot of predictions.
Mhm.
It's a lot of like this is what might happen.
Yeah, right.
So the way I somebody else I know, I told her about this. Like, you ever come to realize that God's too busy with His own work that He just made us prophets of our own future and just hey, this is what might happen to you. We'll see how it turns out.
Yeah.
So you're able to see your own future or somebody else's or some shit that's gonna happen. Some people are just gifted with that. I know my dad is too, because he doesn't really like to talk about it, and it sounds kind of funny sometimes when he says it. He's like, "Yeah, I predicted 9/11." I'm like, "What? What?
What?
Yeah, he predicted 9/11, but he just."
Okay.
I'm like, "What are you talking about?" It's like, I had a dream. I had a vision. I saw the towers burning. I don't know why, but they were burning. They collapsed, and this was way before 9/11. And I just didn't
And you
want to.
didn't do anything?
I didn't want to say anything because I'd sound fucking crazy. I'm like reasonable.
It's understandable, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like I said, more and more, maybe there is such thing as like a different plane of like,
Different plane. I can think of two.
yeah.
9/11.
God,
Yeah.
I walked into that one. Well, any final thoughts about spooky stuff before I guess we'll wrap up our spooky, spectacular horror Halloween episode?
Ooh, one more.
Embrace it, but if it scares you, try not to let it get to you.
Yeah.
Be
Yeah.
careful, kiddies.
Yeah.
You said you one more.
Yeah, one more actually.
Go for it.
It's in regards to the whole videos.
Go for
The
it.
scary videos that we just first talked about. I'm gonna jump in, but you guys transition to
Go
another
for it.
topic. I was forced to watch it.
Which
It was
one?
Halloween.
Halloween.
Halloween was the one that was forced into. Cause I like to always like back then when I was little, I like to like sneak a peek of like whatever my uncles and
Everybody else was
cousins
watching.
were watching, and then they were deciding to watch Halloween for Halloween.
I will-
And I was like peeking out of the wall, and they all saw me. They gave me dagger eyes. And they just brought me, sat me down on the couch, just forcefully
I like
making
that
me
movie.
watch it. I'm
I
like,
won't-
God.
I
and
think
to
it
this
sucks.
day, I am scared and terrified of Michael Myers. And I have a cousin, my lovely, beautiful
Damn.
cousin named Michael. Every time.
I guess you don't like.
he's
I guess you don't like
boom.
Shrek then.
I
That's
love
Mike
Shrek.
I know.
I know.
But I will say, I will add to that. I'm like, I think that one's more terrifying for the fact that it's very believable.
Really?
The
Yeah,
idea of
some
some
random
man
dude.
stalking you.
No.
Yeah, that dude. Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Me?
No, because I mean, there.
Why is a lot of yeses and no's? Oh God.
No, because I mean,
Yeah.
like, remember when I told you fucking, I don't know fucking care, but maybe,
Yeah.
maybe she had like a fucking stalker
Yeah,
for like,
yeah.
I don't know how long, dude.
What?
And, like, yeah, dude,
Yeah.
like, she has to, like, cause, she wanted to hang out at night. She wanted to hang out at night, and then I went to her house. I went to her house, and then she was like, she got really mad. She's like, no, back over there. Like, I'm like, what the fuck and shit. And she comes in the car, and she's like, oh, cause like we have cameras and security surveillances. They have sensors, like around the house. Cause some guy used to stalk her, like badly
Oh
though.
my
It was
God.
bad. And I was just like,
That's
what do you
scary.
mean? And she's like, dude, it was bad.
I think.
She works at the airport,
Uh-huh.
and like you need a. She told me you need a fucking key pass to get in.
Mm-hmm.
He would leave like the person would leave flowers for her in her like station, and she would she told me she's like I just burst it. I'm like wow, like I was so kind of like I actually had like two friends who've been stalked, and one of them like called me like because she knows I sleep late, and she called me up and she's like, someone's stalking me, can you come over? I was like, where are you at? And she like told me where she was at, and I like drove out to where she was at, and she was just like crying in the street, like she's like, I know he's like somewhere. I'm like, get in the car, dude, like the fuck. And she was just crying. She feared for her life. Then when Mimi was telling me about that, she's like, you don't even know, like you don't know because you're not a girl. And I'm just like, of course I'm not, but yeah, like people are weird, man. Like
Wow.
I mean, I personally cannot like. I could understand it, cause I mean I like philosophy and psychology, so I could get into that. But like the thing is like, why would you that? To me, it's
Why
like
would
why
that
would you
person
waste
do
your
that?
time?
Yeah.
Like to me, it's like I have like shit to do, you know. Like I have a lot of things I would rather do than fuck this fucking person. But like people fucking stalk people, and I'm just like, dude, what the fuck? Like
There's
it's-
people out there that are just weird.
Because
dude.
Like,
it's
how-
crazy. It's not rational. They don't rationalize it in the normal
Yeah.
way. They're not like,
That's-
oh, well, it's a waste of time. I shouldn't do this. Like, no, I need to.
Yeah.
It's such a, but like I find that such a trip because like I'm like, dude, you like
And that's
you're
why
really
it's-
scaring this person like to death, and like
They
you're
don't
like,
care. That's the thing. Like some of these people probably don't care, and that's what makes it so scary. Is
Yeah.
that it's like it just like it goes beyond what we would deem as normal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's wrong, and we all know it.
Yeah.
There's people out there who are
Yeah.
just like, no.
like that's why Michael Myers is more believable to me too, because
Yeah.
it's just like there's people out there who are fucking willing to just
Yeah, dude.
make time is for you, and just like it's like
be
dude like
obsessed with you. And
yeah,
stuff.
it's just like to me that's crazy as
read-
fuck because it's just like
One of my dad's cousins, she still works at Costco, I think. I don't remember why or exactly how she got roped into this person, but this guy ended up shooting her while she was walking to her car at work.
What the fuck?
What?
Yeah, like a long time ago, like in the 90s.
wow.
Because he was stalking her?
I don't know if it was her boyfriend or something. I don't know, but he shot her.
Jesus.
See, like
She lived through it, but still.
You gonna say something, Miguel?
see
Oh
like
yeah, I've read that this woman was being stalked, but instead of calling the police and getting a restraining order,
She invited him in.
she married him.
Yeah, I heard about that one.
wow.
Yeah.
No, but like
She married
she fucking Mimi got a restraining order. She got everything like fucking. But like
Did
she
they
still
find
has
out who
security
it
and
was?
everything.
They found him.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure because I'm pretty sure she still.
Oh, man.
But like, yeah, cause like, and then like this one thing happened, and then like she thought I was a stalker. I'm like, bitch, please, like,
So,
you cute, but like,
You ain't.
I don't want to waste my time. But, like,
God.
no, but like, no, cause okay, so this thing happened on Saturday. This thing happened on Sunday.
uh-huh.
Like, I was talking to my little brother in the morning. It's emotional. We were talking in the morning, and we were talking and conversating. And I was like video chatting him. And then while this was happening to me in the morning, it was like 6 till like 12 because me and him were just conversating. He was just really telling me shit.
Yeah.
And then she was at church, and she got out from church. This is what she told me, and she told Danny, my homie Danny. She got out from church, and she was going to her car, and then like she saw her car, and she saw the trunk of her car, and she saw my beanie. She saw my pink beanie outside, like right there, and she's like, she started freaking the fuck out. She automatically she's like, is this guy a fucking stalker? And then she called my friends. She wants to know like my ex-girlfriends, did I ever like try to stalk them? Was I ever like forceful with them? And I was just like, what the fuck? Like I'm like, dude, once they leave me, yeah, I'm sad, depressed and shit, but like I need to fucking move on with my life, and I'm trying to move on in a very positive way. I'm always positive about my things. I'm like, I'm sad and depressed, but I need to be positive. I need to focus on myself, because I mean, shit happens, dude. Like people don't want to be with you. Fuck, dude, that's sad, but like fuck it, dude.
Bro.
But like, no, but like it got me really, really mad and really infuriated that this was happening, and she was thinking I was a stalker, and she was like, "Is you throwing shit into my name? You throwing negative shit to my name?" And like I'm like, if this shit was happening to you, just fucking be straight out with me. Point period. Like I'm not fucking stalk you. But like yeah, she was like for like a few days she was scared of me, and I was like I didn't know about it until like my friend ended up telling me, because he kept on instigating. He's like, yo, you wanna let me borrow that pink beanie, bro? I'm like, I don't have it, bro. Remember when we went out on Saturday night and I left my fucking beanie in her car? He's like, did you leave it in the car? I'm like, dude, I was fucked up. You didn't grab any of my shit. Like, yeah, it's in the car probably. Like, he's like,
my god.
He's like, you sure you don't have it? I'm like, bro, I don't fucking have it, dude. Like, stop hollering me over the fucking beanie, and then they ended up telling me and shit. I'm just like, I'm like, okay, so like the thing is, I'm like, I don't know where the beanie was, and I'm like, how am I gonna go in your car? Why am I gonna go in your car, get my beanie, and then be like, no, I'm gonna put it on top of the trunk, so you know I was here. Like that's some fucking stalker shit, but like she thought for a fucking good while. Like
I mean, people get really fucking.
She got really paranoid. She got really
Like,
scared and shit.
scary,
I was like, bitch, the fuck? Like I have shit to do.
So something similar like that happened. I did got stalked like a little bit,
Yeah.
but not like
I mean, I've been
that
stalked by
kind
a
of
girl,
far.
but
So I kind of figured who it was, but I didn't get it. I didn't like get it fully, the whole like
Yeah, it
aha
didn't-
moment.
yeah.
But I kind of had a hint.
Yeah.
It was me and Marcos' friend Julio.
Oh, yeah, oh, fuck.
Yeah. So like after the whole me like cutting him out of my life and everything like that,
yeah.
I keep getting like phone calls and like these messages about like why the heck are you calling me and everything like that, and I'm like, I don't recognize this number, I don't have it saved, it's just an unknown number,
Yeah.
I don't know who this person is, and I'm like, I'm sorry if I called you and everything, and this person just keeps calling and calling, like I'm gonna answer but I'm not gonna say anything
Yeah.
and let's see what happens. I answer, I don't say anything. The line is still active and just click. And in my head I'm like, it sounds like it. I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
okay.
You put your finger right on the. You're like, right.
Yeah, because I guess he didn't want me to have a life.
It's weird because like,
that.
I mean, I guess it's getting a little personal again, but like, yeah, you weren't the first. You did to a lot of people.
Yeah, so I've heard.
Yeah.
I had a
Yeah.
stalker.
Lucky.
Damn.
Yeah,
Everyone has stalkers. What the
he
fuck?
came out.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's weird because he would only come out during the day.
He?
What?
Follow my footsteps and shit.
I know what you fucking talking about.
Your shadow, you fucking little shit.
You're an asshole.
Don't fuck yourself.
I think some dumb shit Ben said. What to say? Sorry.
But I'll answer my story. Sorry.
No,
I'll
you're
answer my
good.
story. Like I still feel that he's like
Watching
still,
you?
like still watching me. So that's why I was like watch my back and everything like that. Even on my social media and stuff, I'm like,
Do you
Nah, for my social media, I don't give a fuck. I put everything in anything.
do you go walk with like a shank or some pepper spray?
I even gave me some
Shame.
pepper spray.
Some
So
pepper spray?
yeah, he gave me some.
A
Pepper
lot of
spray.
people say like, no, taste is better. Like, no.
No,
No.
pepper spray.
Bro, pepper spray.
Pepper spray, yeah, I know.
No.
But I really
Get
don't.
bear mace, dude. Just fucking
Yeah.
go more.
I need
go
to,
more.
yeah, I
Go
want to
heavy.
get that because my pepper spray.
Yeah, so
like,
this is what
was
you
inspired.
pepper spray him, and when he's down, you shank to the throat. and
I need to.
The
shoot
fuck?
too.
Just hit him in the nuts, like.
No,
Just
shake
be a
him.
savage, dog.
Shake
Like,
him.
honestly,
Finish him off.
straight out, be
Nuts
savage as fuck.
and me.
Oh my
That's
God.
what I heard. Nuts
Yeah.
and me.
We went from spooky stories to self-defense class.
Yeah, no, I mean, being honest, like, if any girl out there, if you're listening to this, any girl out there who's being stalked and somehow you muster up the courage to defend yourself when this person is trying to get near you,
Just pull a Charlie.
hit straight in the nuts, dude, like you swear
And
that's
don't stop.
Yeah, just fuck it, dude. Like,
Just keep hitting him there.
fuck
Keep
it, dude.
hitting it.
Honestly, like, straight out, being super real. Like no
nonstop.
guy's gonna come up
Just
with
like
that.
wham, 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 wham. Make him really regret it.
Like, it doesn't even, it does not matter how like strong you are. The hit in the nuts, knee in the nuts, you gone.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know, yell, that's my purse, and you just kick him in the nuts.
That's my purse.
I don't know you.
Right. That being said, any last final thoughts we can call this
True, true.
spooky stuff?
I know, right? Spooky to defend.
Spooky to defend.
Yeah.
Cool.
While you're sleeping tonight, remember, somebody is watching you.
Yeah.
That's true.
True.
Santa Claus, God, the imaginary friends upstairs.
And who knows? Who
The
knows?
devil!
Who knows? Maybe at the time you wake up, it'd be real or not. Who knows?
No.
We don't know.
I could be watching you.
Yeah.
We could all be watching you, actually.
Well, thank you so much, and enjoy your Halloween.
Yay! Spooky time!
ثاني لو شرينا في سما مايون يا وصرف الدنيا في السجن سمي قليل في زمن وقصدي سيان Yes, it's not a scat. I'm on East survive. I got sick of the valley. Realize this then on so I get you see this. Right. I'm very away. We got bro. So good. Still up by him with that guy broke it. Nice to help our snow. Oh, sign